How's it going, everyone? Got another video here for you for week 4 of phase 3 for Evo Hitting Academies. This one's titled as Count Leverage. So this one doesn't have as much literature within the lesson as much as a big visual, but there's a lot of information and a lot of questions that can be prompted towards your hitters or players. And I feel like this one can apply to both, an individual's practice, but it can also be applied within a team aspect as well. So the counts that we hit and play a bit as big an impact on your opportunity to be successful as anything else you do within the batter's box. And what's included here is just a visual of some information of all AL hitters from 2015 to 2017. For those of you that may have seen something like this, it's the batting statistics in all counts that are available in the game of baseball. And the information here, from my experience, just from looking at charts like this, and maybe you've seen charts like this as well, it shows a very similar pattern. And the information that can be drawn from that is that the first 1, 2, 3, 4 counts are certainly hitters' counts. And then the numbers drop a little bit, but not that much. They're still pretty good from a hitter's end, particularly from a batting average perspective. Once you start getting into one strike counts or even counts, and then they dip a little bit, but then they go up when they go back to 2-1, 3-1 counts. So basically, almost any count that isn't in a 2-strike count is in the advantage of the hitter. And once you get to a 2-strike count, those numbers start dropping drastically. So the objectives that are kind of mentioned within here, and might be something I mentioned before, and if I haven't, I'll just say it here now. Working different counts by a round. When you're working your rounds, when you go in there for a round of hitting, and then you step back, you step out, and then you go back in after you get a pick, or if you're hitting with a group of guys, there isn't anything that can't be said about playing a little game within yourself when it comes to practicing hitting. Something that is conventionally practiced, and for a lot of experienced hitters, it's something that just goes unspoken because it's a part of their own process and their own practice of what exactly they're trying to do. And this is an example, this visual, and applying its objectives, putting yourself in certain counts, playing different games that are kind of mentioned here within your activity, alternating rounds from plus counts to negative counts, taking your round of BP as if it is like an at-bat, fouling pitches off to get yourself to 2 strikes and then work off of 2 strikes, whatever it may be. There isn't anything that doesn't need to be said or directed out loud. It doesn't have to be. It can be included in a practice plan, but it doesn't have to be, because it can just contribute towards the question: what are you trying to do when you step into the cage? What are you trying to do when you practice your hitting? Those are some, at least in my world and from the conversations that I've had, and this video is just meant to further kind of contribute that message towards today's hitters, really practicing under that intent that can be made as if almost like a game, and you can play a little game within yourself when you're practicing hitting, and no one has to know about it. And I feel like this video just has a good way of doing it, or of explaining that, I mean to say. And I don't have any other visuals other than this lesson to show, because it's pretty self-explanatory when you look at it. The other just thought-provoking question that I would bring up is to where this could be applied in a team aspect when it comes to actually hitting as a team, because there is such a thing that can happen. After all, in 0-2, 1-2, or 2-2 counts, where the odds, including full count as well, where the odds are kind of against the batter, well, for a 16%, which is the number I'm just averaging, a 16% chance for you to likely to get a hit is low, but it's not 0, which means there is a chance where there could be a base hit. And it could particularly be a big one late in a game with a runner in scoring position. Still a hit, and the run still counts. So in those type of situations and those type of byproducts, to lead up to those series of events, using this information to kind of bring to the point of paying attention to what your opponent is doing, paying attention as a team, to help yourself hit as a team. What is the pitcher throwing in even counts? What pitches do they go to when they are ahead 0-2? with questions just as simple as that where I could start with. And if you look amongst it, maybe there's a couple other that you could ask yourself as well. They could be the same questions, just in all different counts. Watching the game, watching your teammates go up to bat, watching how the pitcher is working and how they are executing their sequence of pitches and what those pitches look like, can be some certain things that I feel like this visual can be kind of brought up as well and applied within a team aspect. And something that is a very individualized sport that is played as a team. I feel like this visual can also serve for that purpose as well, not just for your own practice, but for your practice as a team and how you can use your own individual gains to contribute towards the team in that telling way. So that's all I have for Phase 3, Week 4 for this video. This might be the shortest one I've ever done. If you have any questions, y'all know how to reach out to me. Have a good one.